A group of 10 transgender women seeking asylum have won their immigration cases after they say they face months of discrimination and violence on their journey. Raices, a nonprofit immigrant rights group, posted a video on Twitter sharing two of the women's reactions to the news.
Me siento tan feliz porque ahora sí sé que voy a mi nueva vida. Mi nuevo futuro viene. Gracias por todo.
CBS News Digital reporter Kate Smith reports on the women's journey and what they plan to do next. And I spoke to her earlier, where she explained how the judge ruled in their case.
This judge decided that their asylum claims were valid, that the persecution that they faced at home would result in torture and/or death, and that they were legally allowed to reside in the United States. It's very exciting for these people. It's life-changing.
So you sort of followed along. Is this a rare finding, or does this happen frequently enough?
It's pretty rare in the sense that only about 35% of asylum cases are actually found to be successful. The overwhelming majority, 65% are not.
Right.
Those people are then deported back to their home countries. So for this group, it's a small group of people that got it, so it's a very big win for them.
So let's talk about what they're running from, because when we talk about asylum seekers, we often talk about crime and violence, but it's often violence as it relates to drug crimes, maybe. What's specific about the challenges that these people face?
It's all about their identity. The challenges they faced at home were completely based on them being transgender. So these women, just by being themselves, were a target for torture, death threats, things like that. I mean, one woman that we spoke to via email actually said that she was trying to become politically active in Honduras because she wanted to change the culture. And so people like her wouldn't be persecuted.
We saw that video right there. I know you've been in contact with some of the women via email. How are they reacting?
They're so excited. They're beside themselves because, they viewed it as their dreams had come true. This is unbelievable. They came from a country where they couldn't be themselves without, immediate threats of violence and death. And now they're just starting a new life here.
And so where do they go from here?
They're starting to get jobs. The same woman who said she was, trying to have political change in Honduras. She said she wants to start her own trans women shelter for women who had her journey. So I think we'll be seeing some great things from this group.
And so is this it for them? Is this the end of their case sort of legally? They're safe and they can move forward? There's nothing else?
Yes, that's what's incredible. So this is the end of their asylum journey. The judge said it was fine. Now, what they can do from here is they can become a citizen if they'd like to, but it's not necessary. They have legal residence in the United States from now on.
Well, did they talk, or do you know what the journey had been like for them?
It was very difficult, the journey to get to the United States. So they came obviously from the Northern Triangle. They were all from Honduras, Guatemala, El Salvador, and they came up through those countries, then through Mexico, and they were through that caravan that President Trump spoke so much about during the lead up to the midterm elections. 7,000 people were in that caravan. And what was interesting when I was speaking to them is that, obviously that is a treacherous journey for the average person. But when you're part of the LGBTQ community, it becomes even worse because you're a target within the caravan. So they spoke about situations where when the caravan was making decisions, that community wasn't thought about. Or, a lot of homophobia and transphobia within those people. So they actually splintered off from the larger caravan. And so in Mexico City, they splintered off and they were bused up to Tijuana, and they completed their asylum journey separate from the caravan.
That's interesting, because part of the reason that these caravans develop is because there is strength in numbers, there's protection in numbers. So if they're moving away from the caravan, they're making themselves vulnerable in order to stay safe.
Absolutely. And that's what makes these stories so even more uplifting, is because they have so many obstacles against them and so many factors that, would say, statistically speaking, it's amazing that this was able to happen, all the way, and now they're safe and here. So it's really incredible.
Kate, is a good news story, because we have been covering this story, nonstop, and sometimes the endings are not so good. It's often they're heartbreaking. So it's very nice to see a good news story. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.